Welcome to session 2. Who is the most valuable person in the company? Now this session, Coach Gary shares a story where he asked someone that very question, and then they responded, and then what Gary said back to them is both inspiring and very interesting. As the American inventor Thomas Edison said, quote, "The value of an idea lies in the using of it," unquote. We hope that you use the ideas that are presented in this session. Now remember, after the session is done, there's going to be some questions that go across the screen. Go and hit pause, discuss that with your team, or if you're by yourself, go ahead and write down your answers so you can really reflect on it. Now remember, think right and be successful. Let's jump into session 2. Who is the most valuable person in the company?
Who's the most valuable, who's the most important person in the company? And he said, well, you are. I said, that's not true.
But wait, you are the owner of this. You are the best salesman.
I don't know who the best salesman is, but go ahead. See, the problem I had is that football of belief that my dad handed it off to me. Now, by the way, my mom handed me a football too, and then people throughout my life, added to those things. The problem is, I took the good part of that football and the bad part of the football, and I had 5 children beside me, and I handed the ball off to them. I've handed it to them, and now they got to deal with it.
How do you see that now as a dad?
No, it's terrible. I see the things that are good and they're not good, and I want to fix them. I want to fix it for them. I want to. Just telling them isn't going to fix it. They've got to see it. God's got to open their eyes to it, because I've passed on the monster. I don't like it at all, but I know that that's the way life is, and hopefully, by virtue of me changing, working on myself, they can see it for themselves and work on themselves, and I can help people like you or anybody that's listening to something, and then they get help, and they can be better or not. They don't have to pass it on to their kids. I don't want my generation of people that follow me, my kids' kids and their kids' kids, to believe that their value is created by how hard they work, because it's not true. I had an individual who was working at a company, and one of the employees quit. And they quit because they didn't like the way they were being treated by one of the other employees of the company. And so they quit, and I asked them why, and they said they weren't treating me right, and they didn't like the manager, and they were arrogant, and so on and so forth. So I went to this manager, and I said, who's the most valuable, who's the most important person in the company? And he said, well, you are. I said, that's not true.
But wait, you are the owner of this. Right. You are the best salesman.
I don't know who the best salesman is, but go ahead.
Well, one of the best salesmen.
Okay, I'm a good salesman.
a very good salesman. So why would you tell him that?
Well, because the value isn't created by what they. It isn't created by what they do and how well they do it. It is created by who they are. A way of saying it is this: is the person that gets $13 an hour, that greets everybody at the front door of the office, the receptionist, is she less valuable than the office manager? Is she less valuable than the owner of the company? And the answer is absolutely not. She's valuable just like the rest of them. Her job description is different. When you talk about position, you usually talk about hierarchies, you know what I mean? And you're talking about higher than this person or that type of thing. When I talk about job description, they're all, value is right here. but their job description is different. This person may have to fire this person. That's a job description.
It's business.
It's business. This person handles the finances, but can't fire this person. It's position. It doesn't make, the value isn't created by what they do, it's by who they are. And God's created them who they are, and that creates the value. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't have to rise up to their position and pay grade. But value as a person is the same, and that's why you should treat them all the same. If I'm talking to the CEO or I'm talking to the receptionist, I should treat them the same. I should treat the person that's serving me at the restaurant the same as the person that owns it. It's just because their value's the same. What their job description's different, that's all. And I believe that with all my heart. Once you get that out of balance, then you have arrogance, you have people that feel like that person that quit the company. I don't need a boss. I remember the first time I was working with somebody, I thought, I don't need a boss. I remember thinking it. I don't need anybody to tell me how hard to work. There ain't anybody in this building going to work harder than me. And that's the way I thought because of the way I grew up. You know, they don't have to tell me to be on time. I'm going to be early. They don't have to tell me how long to be in the restroom because I'm going to go to the restroom, get out of here, and start working as hard as I can. So
it's value.
The value is the same. You know, maybe it's not value, and I'm not talking about money value. I'm talking about person value. The money value can change according to the job description, and it can change according to the results that you bring in. LeBron James is maybe more valuable, if I use the same word, to winning the game, but he's not more valuable as a person. His job description, he gets paid to win that game. He gets paid to be the best. I think it comes through in who you are as a person. I think when you're working with the public, you know, as an example, I just had this conversation with my son. I walk in the office, there's an agent standing at the front door, and he says, I says, well, hey, what'd you sell today? I said, I did a little junk property, and I said, well, none of them are junk properties. We get paid to sell that real estate. I said, we get paid. He goes, well, we didn't get paid much. And I smiled, and I walked into the office, and my son's walking in with me. I said, Matt, don't ever call property junk. It's not junk. It's not junk to the person that owns it. It's not junk to the person that bought it. It's valuable. It's valuable to the person. We got paid for it. Don't ever minimize. Don't ever minimize the real estate that we sell. Now, I understand the reason that people do. They want me to know that didn't make us rich. Well, do I care? I always care about how much we make. But that's not, our job's to do a job, which is to sell real estate, whatever that real estate looks like. So,
what you're talking about, Coach Gary, is viewing the world differently.
Yeah.
Because everywhere that you go is going to have the position mindset where it's I'm lower, I work for Gary, I'm lower, right. Or I'm Gary, I'm higher. What we're saying is thinking right and thinking and seeing the world correctly is actually seeing value and position as separate things, value and job description as different things. Because you have inherent worth. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that, but that really is a principle that helps you see correctly, helps you think right, and helps you be successful. Question 1. Do you see value and position as separate? Why or why not? Question 2. How will your mindset on value influence your interactions with clients? Question 3. How could you apply Coach Gary's principle on value today? Next time on Value value proposition.
Value as a person doesn't change. I, as an owner of the company, should treat the person that makes nothing the same as I treat the person that makes $200,000 a year. Friendly, worthy of stopping to say hi to them, ask them how they're doing, do they need any help.